Hey there, this is Zhenya, Believe in Your Sacred, and this is Creative Moment with Zhenya. So come on in, make yourself comfortable, allow yourself to just feel this beautiful chime. Come on in, you're welcome. See that serves as today's medicine for you on this warm Wednesday. You will need your journal and some writing utensils, preferably in color, but if you don't have any, that's fine. Alright, so let's get started. So like I said, I'm Zhenya. I'm a creativity doula, an energy practitioner, and I essentially connect folks to their being, their creative being, through play, through curiosity, exploration, self-awareness. And really we're trying to kind of unearth our innate creative potential, which is just always within us. And so we can just do certain essentially we're trying to liberate our joy. And when I say joy, I mean just the aliveness and presence of being, so that we can enable ourselves to connect with what wants to come through. Every creative moment, I do this once a month, and every moment I try to share the supportive energies that really are helping us in this moment. And so I really want to draw our attention to the Cancer season that we're in, and that really invites softness and nurturance, just kind of being with our emotions, being with kin, and just really tending to ourselves. And so that's the waters of the season are really holding us. And also I like to point out that the moon is in Libra, and so we're really invited to lean into collaboration, beauty, whatever that means to us, harmony, balance. Really our relationships, our collaborative relationships, and just expression, Venus that rules Libra is an expressive entity, and so we're really being supported right now. Hi, welcome everyone. And so today's creative moment, I really wanted to talk about the inner critic. And the inner critic is really that part of us, that voice that we are oftentimes bombarded with, on the regular, that we are invited to sit with and honor. And so at this creative moment, I really want to make space for that part of us. I also want to say that part of us essentially is trying to protect us. Now there's a variety of things that it thinks we need protection from, and maybe we don't at the moment, maybe we don't at this point in our life, but we must not deny or suppress that voice, because that voice had a purpose and it had a place, and we just want to just sit with it and maybe thank it. Yeah. So before we really get into it, we dive into it, let's do a little grounding meditation to sort of connect to our bodies, connect to this moment, and just really allow ourselves to open up to the guidance that wants to come through. So go ahead, make yourself comfortable. Feel free to close your eyes or lower your gaze, and just take a nice, gentle, deep breath in through your nose. And go ahead, sigh. Take another deep breath in. Feel your chest expanding. And allow yourself to release and feel that release going down, down toward the earth where your body is touching the ground. And continue to breathe gently and slowly at your pace. And feel that awareness come in when you breathe in. And release on the exhale. And really allow yourself to feel fully supported by where you are sitting. On the chair, on the floor, on the ground, if you're outside. And notice your breath moving. And allow yourself to listen to any guidance that's coming through to you on this day, on this week, in this time of the year. What are you being invited to listen to? And supporting us every day. And transmuting whatever energy we don't need right now. And feel free to put your hands on your heart, just in the middle of your chest. And notice if there is any tingling, any warmth that's coming out from under your hands. Is there an nurturance that you're feeling from your heart? Chest rises to meet your hands. We're not going anywhere. We're just here in this moment, in the chaos of the times. Just giving ourselves a little bit of nurturance and nourishment. And go ahead and put your hands on your knees or your lap and start to slowly come back into the room. Feel free to look around. Just orient yourself into this physical space. Hi, welcome. Good to have you. And so I really want to come back to this topic of our inner critic. And I want to just put it out there that there is nothing wrong with you for having this voice, for having this critical you know this already, but this voice is tied to fear, right? And fear essentially at the root is really there to protect us. And so there's a reason why this voice is with you. And what we want to do is we just want to kind of be aware. We want to work with that voice. We don't want to deny, we don't want to suppress it, because the more we suppress it or deny it, it actually gets more powerful, right? And so I invite you to think of ways that you can work with this voice, and I'll give you some suggestions. You know, oftentimes when I'm teaching creativity, you know, my creativity workshops, and people oftentimes say this: I'm not doing this right, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, and there's this sort of like a feeling of it's really, and this is what I'm talking about, this is what I mean by the inner critic, right? It's oftentimes related to you know, wanting to do something right for the first time, right? Being afraid to make mistakes, right? And so I just want us to kind of acknowledge that we all have this, and that we can be soft, and we can really send some love and compassion to that part of us. Because the more we sort of nourishing, start a ritual or something to sort of distract yourself with that voice. But do come back to what you were working on, right? Because the more practice we have of not listening to that voice, or not listening, but not doing what it says, the more sort of resilience we're going to have in our practice. And so the creative prompt, I usually have a creative prompt for these sessions, but I wanted to do a bit of reflection. I think reflection is really what we need right now. And I want us to get our journal, open to a blank page. And I want you to write inner voice, inner critic, just the top of the page. actually love to write in color. I think it's actually fun, and color really inspires us in different ways. So I invite you to, if you have some colorful utensils, go ahead and write in colorful utensils, and I'll keep talking as you write. Put some music. We'll write for about 5 minutes. So once again, if you're joining us, just open up your journal and write my inner critic at the top. Because like I said, this was and is a part of you that has protected you, right? I like to think of the brain as like sort of a computer. And when we're doing something new, especially if we're doing something new, our brain kind of goes into this, oh, I don't know what this is. And it kind of wants to shut it down, right? And so if you're starting a new practice, or if you're starting a creative practice, and you hear that voice, right? It can be really difficult, right? And so I want us to reflect on what it is that it's bringing forth for us, right? Because everything really is medicine. Maybe what new habits have you been starting that you've heard it creep up? Is it related to making mistakes? Not being perfect at what you're doing, There's all these reasons why the voice comes up, and it's really good to just kind of work with it and honor it and sit with it and just nurture yourself through it, right? Yeah, because when we honor it, it tends to become part of us in a helpful way, in a supportive way. I mean, I've been doing, I've had a creative practice for a number of years, and sometimes I still have, the inner critic come up, and it's continuously an invitation for me to stop what I'm doing, make some tea, light a candle, do something nurturing for myself, come back. And oftentimes, it's a way to move through that inner critic. And also, I want to invite us to go ahead. We've got another 2 minutes or so. To love and hold and have compassion for. I want to share a little helpful I'm growing, I'm getting better each day. And that's I love that. I love the simplicity of it, and I love the kindness of it, and sort of the innocence of it too, because we are all growing. We are all learning. And so I hope this has been helpful for you. Join me next month here on the first Wednesday of the month for another creative moment. I hope this has been nurturing for you. I hope you've had some moments of reflection that were helpful and supportive.